Hi, I'm Sean from the Super Sean Show, and the new Mortal Kombat's out! This game has amazing gameplay, amazing graphics, but most of all, gore! It totally lives up to the catchphrase, Fatality is back. And on top of all that, on the PS3, they added Kratos. What a cherry on top. So in celebration of this grand event, I got my Mortal Kombat shirt that's way too big for me, my big ass Mortal Kombat background, oh, and I also have my scorpion head that I made myself. And I'm going to be reviewing the 1995 film Mortal Kombat. This movie is, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion, the best video game movie so far. This movie can pretty much be described in one word: fun. This movie is so freaking cool, with a bunch of fights, some great sets, some decent special effects, and a cliffhanger which could have been led to a great sequel. Emphasis on could have. Let's talk about story. As I've said, the story is decent, but nothing to really make it jump out of your seats. It all centers around the tournament Mortal Kombat. Duh. Now, the evil Emperor Shao Kahn and his greatest warriors challenged the people of Outworld in Mortal Kombat, and has won 10 times. According to the rules of Mortal Kombat, this means that Shao Kahn could go into Outworld anytime he pleases, which led to the inevitable conquering of Outworld. Now Shao Kahn is doing the same thing with our world, which is called Earthrealm, and he has won 9 times. The goal is simply to defeat Shao Kahn so he doesn't take over our world. The warriors of Outworld are being led by the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung, played by Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, who's actually done a lot of stuff in his career, like the Planet of the Apes remakes, Pearl Harbor, and even a couple episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation, MacGyver. 3 of the combatants represent Earthrealm, whether they know it or not, for their own reasons. Sonya Blade, played by Bridget Wilson, an FBI agent who was after a killer named Kano. Johnny Cage, played by Lyndon Ashby, an action star who was getting shunned on the false claim that he's a fake, enters without real danger after being told that the best fighters will be there, so he can prove once and for all he's the real deal. And Liu Kang, played by Robin Shu, a Shaolin monk who wants to avenge the death of his brother Chang. Accompanying them is the God of Lightning. No. There you go. The God of Lightning, Raiden, played by Christopher Lambert, who mostly serves as a mentor, giving advice for our team, but he can still be a pretty damn cool badass when he needs to be. Enough! So this is what happens to Highlanders when they're the only ones left. Together, they must face terrible foes, like the Dark Sorcerer Shang Tsung, the devious team of Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and of course, worst of all, random no-name black guy with dreads. The story is decent and well-paced. The only real problem I have with it is the fact that Scorpion and Sub-Zero are a team, when in the games it's clear that they are mortal enemies. But aside from that, decent story. But let's look at the thing that everyone remembers about this movie, the music. Notably, the Mortal Kombat theme. Mortal Kombat! I mean, no one after watching this show is ever gonna forget this song. The best part of it being that sweet character's roll call. You know what's funny? People always told us the Mortal Kombat theme, even though it was never in the games. It was barely in the movie for that matter. It was only in the trailer. And besides, Mortal Kombat already did have a theme. So it's the song that was just in the trailer that beats the song in the game. That is the power of that damn song. But with that amazing song, people tend to overlook the other songs in this movie, which I think are all fantastic. Like the theme for Reptile. The special effects are also really cool, especially from Sub-Zero. One of my favorite scenes is actually when he freezes Sonya's gun. Raiden and Scorpion also have some great special effects, and so does Shang Tsung, like when he sucks that anonymous black guy's soul. But there is one effect that I actually really didn't like, and that was Goro. When you first see him, he's pretty cool, he's a decent effect, and he has a good dialogue and a cool voice. It's when he starts fighting that the character really goes downhill. For one thing, his dialogue seems to only be consistent of shut up! 2. His movement seemed a bit fake, especially when he started lifting his arms. It's about as convincing as lifting a friggin' action figure up and down. And how is that convincing? And of course, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that Johnny Cage did this move, but I just wish he would have done it on a henchman or something, not a big ultimate badass like Goro. I mean, how would you like it if Luke's strategy to defeat the Rancor was simply to punch him in the balls? Another fight that just flat out disappointed me was the fight of Sonya vs. Kano. Kano just sucked way too hard. On top of that, listen.
Give it up, baby. I've studied all your moves.
Well, if that's so, then how did you not see that leg grab coming up, dumbass? So yeah, 2 fights pretty much suck. But hey, 6 fights out of 8 is still a win. They have great choreography, great sets to fight in, and great special effects to amplify the fight scenes. They pretty much give the movie a great blood-pumping appeal. My favorite one by far being the fight with Johnny Cage's Scorpion, especially when they go to hell.
Welcome!
Could I offer you some Kool-Aid or an Oreo? Come on, come on! Here it comes! And...
Get over here!
Oh yeah! There is nothing more satisfying than hearing Scorpion's original voice saying that classic line in a motion picture. And while we're on the subject, the casting is also fantastic. Robin Shou as Liu Kang sounds, acts, and looks the part. So does Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage. Richard Wilson as Sonya also does an alright job. Christopher Lambert, although sounding a lot different than today's interpretation of Raiden, does a good job in his own right. Kevin Michael Richardson, aside from being tainted from dialogue consisting only of screams, does a decent voice for Goro. There's so much power to the line brought by his acting. Oh, of course, don't forget...
Fatality.
God, he's awesome. The writing is also pretty decent. Now, a lot of people complain about Johnny Cage's one-liners. But come on, his character is an action movie star. Of course he has a bunch of one-liners. And to be honest, I find them kind of entertaining. So, what's the final verdict on this movie? Well, it's no Citizen Kane or Titanic, but it's not supposed to be. This movie knows exactly what it wants to be. A straightforward popcorn action flick. And in that regard, it more than succeeds. The action and special effects are awesome, the cast is great, and it really seems like you put a lot of effort into it. A shame the same couldn't be said about the sequel. So I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I say that I recommend this movie around with a lot of friends on a Friday night with a lot of popcorn.
Get over here!
I'm Sean from the Super Sean Show. See you next time.